When most people think about end-of-life planning, they assume there are two options, burial or cremation. But that's actually just the starting point. There are four distinct types of final arrangements, each with very different costs, levels of service, and implications for your family. And most people don't find out which one they're getting until they're already sitting across from a funeral director. Option 1 is direct cremation. This is the most straightforward choice. The body is cremated shortly after death with no viewing, no formal funeral service, and no ceremony beforehand. The cremated remains are returned directly to the family. It's the most affordable cremation option available, and it gives families complete flexibility to hold a memorial on their own terms, when they're ready, where they want, in whatever way feels right for them. According to Funeralocity, the national average for direct cremation is just over $2,200. 2 is full-service cremation. This includes everything in a traditional funeral: embalming, a formal viewing, a staffed ceremony at a funeral home, followed by cremation instead of burial. It's the most complete experience for families who want a traditional farewell but prefer cremation as the final disposition. The national average according to Funeralocity runs just over $6,200, and that number can vary significantly depending on your location and the provider you choose. Option 3 is affordable burial, sometimes called direct burial or immediate burial. Similar to direct cremation, this option skips the formal viewing and ceremony. The body is buried shortly after death without embalming or a funeral home service. Families often hold a separate graveside gathering or memorial later. The national average runs just over $5,100. It's a dignified option for families who prefer burial but want to manage costs carefully. Option 4 is traditional full-service burial. This is what most people picture when they think of a classic funeral. Embalming, a formal viewing, a staffed funeral service, followed by cemetery burial. It's the most comprehensive option and typically the most expensive. The national average according to Funeralocity is just over $8,500, and that figure does not include the cemetery plot, grave marker, or other add-on costs that can push the total significantly higher. So 4 options, 4 very different experiences, and 4 very different price points. Direct cremation on the lower end, traditional full-service burial on the higher end, with full-service cremation and affordable burial in between. None of these options is right or wrong. The right choice depends entirely on your family's wishes, your budget, and your values. What I find in my work as an independent broker is that most families have never had this conversation laid out clearly before they need to make a decision. And when that decision has to happen within 72 hours of a loss, under grief, under time pressure, without comparison shopping, that's when costs escalate and families end up with arrangements that don't reflect what they actually wanted or what they could actually afford. Planning ahead changes that completely. As an independent broker licensed in 24 states, I help families understand their options and put coverage in place that gives their loved ones flexibility, not a contract tied to one funeral home, not a prepaid plan locked to one provider, just a benefit that pays directly to your family so they can make the right choice when the time comes. The link below takes you to a simple no-obligation form to compare cremation planning options available in your state. I'm Jason Lamberson, independent broker licensed in 24 states. Let's make sure your family knows what their options are before they need them.